Hello everyone. I hope you all are fit in your homes and I'm very happy to see your performance in test. Although it was self-assessment test, but you did well and most of the students they did wonderful work. And today we are starting a new chapter, control and coordination. So let's start the chapter. So chapter number 7, control and coordination. So let's study this chapter. All living organisms have the ability to detect changes in external as well as internal environment and to respond and react appropriately to these changes. See, the changes in the environment, they are called stimuli, and the organs that detect them, they are called receptors or sense organs. So let me explain you receptors and stimuli. See, information from the environment is detected through receptors, which are present in our sense organs such as inner ear, nose, tongue, skin, eyes. And we have gustatory receptors which are present in our tongue and they are meant to detect taste. And same olfactory receptors, they are present in nasal cavity and they detect smell. Olfactory receptors, they detect smell, and gustatory receptors, they detect taste. So the reaction shown by a living organism to a stimuli is called response. And the response of an organism to a stimuli is usually in the form of some movement, either of a body part or of the whole organism. See, let's take the example. When bright light falls in our eyes, eyes get closed. And bright light, it is stimulus. And closing of our eyes means when we close, it is response. And when we touch any hot object, we withdraw our hand immediately. So heat, it is stimulus, and withdrawal of our hand, it is response. And when we touch the leaves of touch me not plant, the leaves of plant, they fold and droop. And sunflower, it moves in the direction of sun. So the movement shown in response to any stimulus are definite and highly controlled and coordinated. So what is coordination? Coordination is the process through which two or more organs of an organism, they interact and they work together to adjust the vital activities of the life. So the coordination in animals, it is brought about by nervous system and hormones. But in plants, it is brought about only by hormones and it is called hormonal coordination. So first, we will study nervous coordination in animals. So let's study nervous coordination in animals. Nervous system, it is the control center of the body and it is a network of nerve cells, nerves and neural organs. And first of all, we will study about nerve cells. See, nerve cells, they are the structural and functional unit of nervous system. And the information from the environment, it is detected by the nerve cell. And these are also called neuron. So a neuron, it is the longest cell of human body. And these are specialized for conducting information through electrical impulses from one part of the body to another. So let's study the structure of nerve cell. It has basically main four parts and its first part it is cell body or cyton. So cyton, it is the broad rounded part of neuron and it has a central nucleus. Cyton, it receives information through dendrites and conduct further through axon. And the second part of nerve cell it is dendrites. Dendrites, these are one to many branched finger-like projections and through dendrite a neuron is connected with the neighboring neuron and they receive impulses and bring to cyton. Okay? And third part of neuron it is axon. And axon, it is the longest single extension which arises from the cyton and it carries impulses away from the cyton to the next neuron. And through axon, a neuron, it is connected either to other neuron or to muscle fiber. Means axon से neuron जो है ये connect रहता है या तो दूसरे neuron से और या muscle fiber से. Now the fourth part of a nerve cell, it is nerve ending. Nerve ending, these are fine branch like terminations of a neuron. And Now you must be thinking how nerve cells they are connected to each other. Before this we have to understand synapse. That what is synapse? So synapse, it is a gap between two adjacent neurons where the nerve impulse passes from one neuron to another in one direction. See here I have used a word nerve impulse which I explain you later. Okay, before this I'll explain synapse and nerve and afterwards nerve impulse. So the terminal knobs of an axon they lie in close contact with the ends of dendrite of the next neuron, and the two neurons they are separated by a narrow gap, and this narrow gap is called synapse. Now nerves. Nerve it is a bundle of nerve fibers which is enclosed in a common sheath of connective tissue. So nerve it is a cable-like structure within the body designed to conduct nerve impulses that relay information from one part of the body to another. Now let's study nerve impulse. See, nerve impulse it is a signal that travel along the length of a nerve fiber, like the conduction of an electric current through copper wire. So nerve impulse it is the way which nerve cells communicate with each other. Means nerve impulse it is the way by which nerve cells they communicate with each other. And the nerve impulse it arises at the end of a receptor cell of a sense organ. And the information acquired at the end of dendrite tip of a neuron it causes a chemical reaction, and that produces an electric impulse. And the impulse it travels from the dendrite of a sensory neuron to its cell body and then along the axon to its end. And at the end of axon the electrical impulse it causes the release of some chemicals, and these chemicals are called neurotransmitters. So what are neurotransmitters? Let's study. See, neurotransmitters these are the chemical substances which are released at the end of a nerve fiber by the arrival of a nerve impulse. And neurotransmitters are the substance which neurons are used to communicate with one another. These are the substances which neurons use to communicate with one another. And these chemicals cross a gap, synapse, that start a similar electrical impulse in dendrite of next neuron. So a similar synapse allows the delivery of such impulses from neuron to other cells, and other cells like muscle cells or glands. So this is the way how nerve impulse it travels and it is generated. Now let's study about the different types of nerve cells. So first type of nerve cells these are sensory neurons. These neurons carry sensory impulses from sense organs to brain or to spinal cord, because these neurons they are present in sense organs. And now second types of neurons these are relay neurons. Relay neurons they connect sensory neurons to motor neurons, and they are located in the brain and spinal cord. Now third type of neurons these are motor neurons. These neurons carry motor impulses. Motor impulses means instructions which causes movement. So these neurons they carry motor impulses from brain or spinal cord to the effector organ like muscles or glands. So these are the three types of neurons. Now let's study about neuromuscular junction. See, what is neuromuscular junction? It is the point of contact between axon of a motor neuron which carries nerve impulses with the surface membrane of a muscle fiber. So what is neuromuscular junction? Neuromuscular junction it is the point of contact between axon of a motor neuron that carries nerve impulses with the surface membrane of a muscle fiber. So just now we have studied about types of neurons and neuromuscular junction. Now let's study about reflex action and reflex arc. And first of all we will study about reflex actions. See, there are certain body responses which are immediate. They do not require any thinking by the brain, and these responses are called reflex actions, and these responses are controlled by spinal cord. So what is reflex action? A reflex action is a spontaneous, involuntary and automatic response without the will of the organism. It is under control of spinal cord. For example, withdrawal of hand on touching a hot object, blinking of eyes, sneezing, coughing or vomiting. These are the examples of reflex action. And here one more example of reflex action, it is watering of mouth at the sight of tasty food. This is also the example of reflex action. So why reflex actions are important? Because it protect the body from damage, and these actions are controlled by spinal cord because it may take more time for the brain to instruct muscles to move, और इससे हमें नुकसान हो सकता है. Now let's study about reflex arc. Reflex arc, it is the pathway taken by nerve impulses in a reflex action. It is called reflex arc, and reflex arc, it is formed in the spinal cord. And reflex arc, it involves sense organs which receives the stimulus change in the environment, and sensory neurons which conveys the stimulus to spinal cord. Spinal cord, it interprets the stimulus and gives commands to motor neurons, and motor neurons which conveys motor command to effectors, and effector organs, it gives the response producing a movement of some muscles or secretions from a gland. So here it is the flow chart showing reflex arc.